Hello everybody, welcome back to CNS Corvettes in beautiful sunny Sarasota, Florida. It's your Corvette buddy Lyle here to talk to you about more interesting, exciting, and hopefully helpful and fun Corvette stuff. Today we're going to cover a selection of Corvette myths that, well, it's time for them to die. You know, I find it funny that as much as Corvettes have changed over the last, 70 years, especially over the last 30, that a lot of the Corvette myths that were prevalent in the 70s are still kind of prevalent in popular culture today. The main one I think that we're going to get out of the way first is that Corvettes are just for old guys, okay? You know, the white New Balance, jean shorts, lawn chair, that kind of crowd is the only ones who really like Corvettes. That has not been my experience at all, considering the number of people that I deal with and meet and see every day in the Corvette world. But don't take it from me. Look who's buying C5s and C6s these days, okay? A lot of younger people, dudes in their 20s, girls in their 20s, are getting their Corvettes very early on. They are driving them, they're messing with them. I got two mechanics here, Andy and Nick, both of whom are under 24 years old. And they both have one of them has a C5, the other has a C6. It is younger people's cars now because they are affordable compared to what new Honda Civics and stuff cost. It's much less expensive to get into a well-loved C5 or C6. It is no longer just for old guys. And this young group that is in, they're taking the cars to the track, but they're also making them their own aesthetically. Custom this, changing that. They're not adhering to all the old Corvette rules of you have to keep it stock. No, they're doing what they want. And that is what is part and parcel of keeping this hobby alive. So the old guy car myth, dead. Another old classic is that Corvettes can't handle. Corvettes are only fast in a straight line. Well, for most of the street Corvettes in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, that is kind of true. They still had independent front and rear suspension, which really very few other cars had at all during those times in America. But especially with the C4 being able to move up and be track derived from the very beginning and be a very focused performance car, and then moving the transmission to the rear in the C5, Corvettes handle as good or better than any other sports car in the world. It all has to do with who's driving it. But if you take the time to learn your car, if you take the time to educate yourself on how to handle a car with the power and performance that a Corvette has, yeah, they are definitely just as quick in the corners as they are in a straight line. Questions about myths revolving around reliability and quality. Corvettes are unreliable. You just can't count on them. They break all the time. Well, how many American cars are still on the road actively being loved on and driven that are 40, 50, 60, 70 years old? Not a whole lot. Anytime you have any old car, it's going to require maintenance. It's going to require refreshing and care and all the things that you have to do. Like with anything that ages, you have to take greater care of it. I think that the reason the Corvette gets so much hate is almost all of the other GM products made in the last half century have all been crushed years ago. They aren't on the road. And once those things started breaking down, they weren't worth fixing, so people got rid of them. It's only the cars that people really love that live long enough to become, quote, unreliable. But that's the price you pay to have something that is very cool, isn't something you see every single day, and something you have a relationship with. The other half of this is, Corvettes are so cheaply built. One of my favorites is when people hate on the C5 interior. And yes, the C5 interior was made at a time when GM was in deep financial trouble. They just wanted to put out the best car that they could for the lowest price they could. There's a lot of black plastic. The leather isn't good quality. But at the time, that was true about that interior. But people kind of overlooked it because of what that car was capable of. Today, though, almost 30 years on almost, people now with cars with all the modern screens and all the adaptability and connectivity and stuff, now people are looking at the C5 as Yes, this car has a radio, it has AC, it has gauges. That's all I need or want. I want to focus on the driving experience, not on my apps, not on my YouTube, not on my Instagram. When I'm in my Corvette, I want to drive. So the fact that the interior is cheap, chintzy, and doesn't have a lot of features is actually become part of its charm because it is made for one thing, driving. Another Corvette myth that needs to die is that the cost of ownership will just destroy you. So, insurance is so expensive. If you own a C5 or a C6, insurance is not expensive. Unless you have a horrible driving record, anybody can afford to insure a Corvette. I own 4 cars, none of which are worth more than $30,000. When I look at my insurance policy, the least expensive car for me to insure is my Corvette Z06 by about $25. It is the cheapest car to insure. So don't tell me that they are so expensive. I think that so many of these myths are now just tradition. They're all like this. No, it hasn't been true for a long time. And we need to speak up and speak about that because these cars really are not what everybody says they are. Another one is driver skill or driver image. Oh, vet owners can't drive. They're always wrecking, they're always spinning out. Well, I guess in that, at least they're not Mustangs. But when you have a powerful piece of equipment, you have to do the due diligence to understand the car and to bring your drivers to up your level of driving skill to match the car. Otherwise, when you turn out of that car show on wet pavement with cold tires and stab it, yes, you're going to spin out. You're going to run into the crowd and then take out a light pole. Vet owners are no different than any other car owners, but they, just like someone who has a high-powered Porsche or a high-powered Japanese car, you need to respect the power and learn to use it properly. Finally, the myth of once you have a Corvette, this is a certain section of the Corvette community, you got to mod it. You got to put a cam in it. You got to do this, you got to do that. Listen, in most cases, there's only one name on the title of a Corvette, and usually it's you, the person paying for it. Don't let anybody tell you what you have to do to a Corvette is to make it cool. If you want to paint that car purple with pink polka dots, great, it's your car, do what you want with it. Obviously, do the correct maintenance. When things break, fix them, all of that stuff, that's any car. So those are my thoughts on some of the Corvette myths that need to die. I'm very interested to hear what other ones you might have. Put them in the comments below, and maybe we can do a part 2 of this using viewer recommended myths that need to die. I'd be interested to read it. I know we'll all get a good chuckle out of it. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you soon.